And welcome back to the Health No Filter podcast. My name's Tristan Lowe. I've been away for a week and a half, spent a lot of time outdoors and working with clients as well. And welcome back to the channel. For those of you watching on YouTube, you can see in the video, I'm holding up this canoe size, enormous running shoe. This is the Salomon Sense Ride 5 model. Okay, and Salomon are one of the brands of footwear, running shoes, trekking shoes, which I often use. It's not the only brand. I also use On Cloud, Carrymore, and of course this one here, Salomon. So I'm holding up this one here. I've had these for about a month now. I think I've worn them twice indoors and once outdoors. They're almost broken in, but I'll break them in. I've just got rid of a pair of Hoka, depending on how you pronounce it, that I had for 15, 16 months that I wore throughout the UK, indoors, outdoors, and I wore whilst I was in Japan last year as well. And in the last 2 or 3 weeks, the soles on those Hokas have worn away. And whilst they might still look okay, they actually started to get a bit of foot pain. Now you have to remember that the foot is a complex part of your body. It's the base of your body. You've got 2 of them, we hope. And of course, you should look after your feet, which is almost the subject of today's title. It's not a review of the Salomon running shoes or trekking shoes or hiking shoes. These ones have got the energy foam, but I think a lot of running shoes have. Look after your feet, look after your eyes, and look after your, your head when you're outdoors. If you look at this here, I got this cap. I think someone gave it to me about 10 years ago. I wear it once a year. These glasses are these sunglasses that I use. They're quite good. They're Oakley's, and when I put them on, okay, I can see you clearly. It kind of dulls everything outside as well, but again, they're ideal for this time of year. It keeps grit and stones out of my eyes when I'm out on my bike or I'm out walking. But let's get away from the eyes and the head. Protect your head, protect your eyes, and protect your feet any time of the year. All right. If memory serves me right, you've got about 26, I think it's 25, 26 bones in each foot. And therefore, those bones, ligaments, tendons, bursa, or shock absorbers, are under a lot of stress. And so you should actually take care to inspect your feet. I got a cut on my foot yesterday. I think I stood on a very, very slight shard of glass that had come out of a trainer. And I'd put it in my garden, and I took my flip-flops off in the garden, and it just made a little cut on my foot. So of course you have to clean it and get a plaster on it and treat it if necessary. But right, as a professional personal trainer and sports massage therapist with up to just close to 17 years now of experience looking after clients, it's not actually a part of the body that a lot of clients ask about. Although recently, a new personal training client did actually mention about footwear. And it's something that I always, will say to a client, if you're going to spend money on fitness training gear, and it's not sport specific, it's for going to your local gym, your leisure centre, working with your personal trainer, walking outdoors, training indoors or anything, the majority of what you spend on your equipment or your attire, in my opinion, as a professional, should go on your footwear. Should go what's on your feet. It's the only part of your body in contact with the ground. And for those of you who live and die by using cars for analogies, I use them as well. They're your tyres. Yeah, there's no point having shiny bodywork on your car and a 3-litre engine if your tyres are worn out. Okay, it's going to lead to an accident or even worse. All right, so your feet are your tyres. Okay, protect them. If you've got £200, let's say, or $250, depending on where you are, to spend on equipment and fitness gear, I would say spend a third, if not half, on your footwear. Now, I think generally when it comes to footwear, you get what you pay for. If you spend good money on footwear, what's good money? Let's say anything from around £80 or above. Okay, and of course you need to have the right brand because some brands, they have a narrow fit. Some have a wide box fit. Okay, some have big ankles. I've got big feet. I'm a size 11.5 shoe, and I've got thin ankles as well. So I have to think about if I've got running shoes or trekking boots and hiking boots, I have to think that usually with someone with feet as big as mine, they're going to have thicker ankles. But what a lot of manufacturers do now, they realise that even pro athletes nowadays can have small joints, you know, small wrist joints or small ankle joints, but big appendages, big hands and feet. You see it a lot with some pro athletes in like the NBA or runners. You know, Usain Bolt, what was he, 6'4", 6'5", the world's greatest track star. And yet he had what looked like small wrist joints and small ankle joints, but I imagine quite big hands and feet. Basketball, swimmers. All right, so now let's get back to ensure that you've got the right brand, the right fit. And actually, some would say it's not important, but I think it kind of is, the right look. If you like the look of your fitness attire, you like the look of your new hat, your new trainers, your new leggings, your new compression stockings, your new t-shirt, doesn't matter who makes it, you like the look of it, you're more than likely going to wear it. All right, so right now the foot and the ankle joint are constantly under pressure. Yeah, to give you an idea, if you take a person, a man or a woman that are excessively overweight, all right, let's say excessively, let's say 3 stone or 42 pounds or more overweight, year in, year out, okay, and I'm being quite generous there, saying only 3 stone, 42 pounds, what you see quite often, they have big calf muscles or big calves, and it's because the calves, the gastrocnemius, the soleus, even the Achilles tendon, those muscles and ligaments and tendons are under a excessive amount of strain every day because John or Jill, wherever you are, is unhealthily overweight. So therefore those muscles have to actually, in the lower limb, in the calf, have to actually look after the body. They have to take care of that massive amount of weight, excess weight that's bearing down on them day in, day out. Yeah. So it goes to show that how the lower limbs in the body, like everywhere else, but we're talking lower limbs, react to your lifestyle, your body weight, okay, your exercise patterns, what you do, what you don't do. They react to your profession. If you've got a job where you sit down all day, writing, typing, or phoning around somewhere, you work in an office or a call center, or even if you work from home, your feet, the muscles, ligaments and tendons around the feet, from the toes all the way back up to the heel, the calcaneus, the talofibial joint, the gastrocnemius, the soleus in the calf again, okay, your feet won't need to be strong. They'll need to be strong enough to walk around your house and walk around the shop, but they won't need to be strong and mobile and pliable because you don't play sports, you don't do any health and fitness, you sit down all day. Your body adapts to what you do with your body, okay? So your feet need to be strong. Now you would expect a runner's feet, you know, or a walker, a trekker, hiker to have strong feet. Well, maybe, possibly, yeah, but we're also predisposed to injury. I've had quite a few foot injuries. You know, I've had, and some of them were quite graphic to look at as well. We're not talking cuts. I've had a few cuts and slices and dices and what have you. I'm talking about hematoma. I'm talking about bursitis, where the ankle joint swells up. I've had repetitive strain injury on both feet from thousands and thousands of miles of walking, trekking and hiking. So I know to go and get them looked at. I'll go and see my physiotherapist. Put my feet in cold water. You know, I'll wear compression socks. I'll always ensure that I don't walk around my house, the lower half of my house, which has got a hard floor. You know, for that 2, 4, 6 weeks, I always put my sandals, my sliders, my flip-flops on, anything like that, just to protect them, yeah? They will get stronger, okay, with rest and the right exercise. You've got to strengthen the muscles in the calves, you know, those muscles that sit in the front of the calf, you know, the tibialis anterior and the posterior aspect of the lower limb. And you need to actually strengthen your ankle as it goes into dorsiflexion and points down, and plantarflexion as your toes go lower than your heels and plant down, contracting the calf muscle, and dorsiflexion as the ankle joint comes up back towards you when you bring your toes back up to you. Those muscles that help to extend or flex or invert or evert the ankle joint, you've got to keep them strong. You know, take it from me. You know, I'm a reasonable athlete for a man of my age at 54, and I've still had ankle and foot injuries, yeah. All right, so let's get back to looking after your body, looking after your feet. All right, so suggestions. You're going to get into walking, trekking, hiking, climbing, running, cycling. You're going to need some footwear, yeah. Do some research. Don't spend all day on YouTube or Google, because what you might find is that research or articles are actually funded or sponsored by a particular brand of shoe. a particular brand of trainer or running shoe. So be careful with that. Best thing to do is to go to your local shop, support independents as well. Where you can, support your independent shop in your town, city, or even village, yeah? Okay, they're more predisposed to spending time with you. They want you to have the right footwear. They want you to get the right footwear, not necessarily the most expensive or the most, exotic looking. What's right for you, John? What's right for you, Jill? Because you're more than likely then going to appreciate their advice, buy that particular trainer or running shoe or sneaker from them, and refer them to someone else and go back again maybe next year. Yeah, so people buy from people. Yeah, so spend time with someone. You don't necessarily have to see a chiropodist or a physiotherapist or a gait scan specialist. A gait scan possibly, because they can help. Physiotherapist possibly, because they can help. But do some research, ask around, and look after your feet. Now, the Salomon brand I find are reasonably priced. Okay, they do some great colours as well: black, white, orange, yellow, blue, red, whatever your colour. I've seen lime green ones as well. So whatever floats your boat. Now you can wear. I bought this T-shirt in Tokyo, in Japan. I think it cost me about the equivalent of about £14-15. It was from the shop called Uniqlo. I'd never been one before, I had no reason to, but I was in Japan last year. I was on my own. I thought I'm going to buy one or two things in Japan just for training in, and I bought this T-shirt. And I'll tell you, it's a great fit. It doesn't shrink, it's not faded, it fits the body well, it wicks away sweat and what have you. I bought a couple of them, a grey one and a black one, basic colours. I've got colour blindness, so I shouldn't really care. All right, now, but having said that, I'm happy to train in a T-shirt that costs £2 from, I don't know, Primark or one of those, those fast fashion shops they call them, those in and out department stores. Because unless you're outside in winter, in cold temperatures, it's advisable then to wear merino wool, okay? Because merino wool will help wick away the sweat, all right? It stops you from catching hypothermia if you're outdoors in cold temperatures, in extreme conditions as well. So base layers, merino wool in winter. But I would say in summer, you don't want to wear too much cotton on your body outdoors either, because cotton, whilst it might look nice and be relatively low cost as well, cotton is rotten. When cotton, base layers, T-shirts, underwear, socks, leggings, when they get wet through sweat, they stay wet, yeah? So, pick your moments, pick your ideas for what you wear in the top base, but that's for another conversation. Spend most of your money on what goes on your feet. And actually likewise socks as well. I would suggest, yes, cotton socks are okay if you're just going to spend £1 or £2 on them, but if you're a serious exercise enthusiast or you're getting into fitness training, think about what goes actually, between the running shoe and your foot itself, and buy yourself a decent set of merino wool or even synthetic socks as well. And they'll last a while. You can buy good quality compression socks for £10-15. They're great for training in, and they're great for recovery. At least once a year, I go on an airplane. I've got another flight in 2 months from now. I think I've got about 5 or 6 flights in the space of 2 weeks with my pals traveling to China. So it's likely that I'll put a set of compression socks on my feet and legs at some point, just to actually, compress the muscles and push some blood back around. Okay, not on every flight. Some of the flights are only 2 or 3 hours, but I've got other flights that are 12 to 14 hours non-stop. So I'll take that into account, look after my legs, look after my calves. All right, now, so the plan is you're going to go out this weekend, look for your new running shoes or your trainers. Remember, give yourself a budget, be reasonable. You don't have to spend £250. If you're into mountaineering and high altitude climbing, some of the footwear in that world can go up to £600-700. People, climbers and trekkers and hikers, climbers and mountaineer professionals think nothing of spending £400-500 on the world's best gear, but that is specific gear that is built and made by the best manufacturers in the world. When you are, 18, 20 to 26,000 feet up in the air, which is not the case for 99.9% of the world's population. All right, that's not you. Okay, that's it. My name's Tristan Lowe. The channel is Health No Filter. I'm a professional personal trainer and sports massage therapist. I'm 54 years of age. I've been exercising since I was 11. I currently stand at 6'4" and about 178 pounds. My current body fat in the middle of summer is about 12%, and my visceral fat rating is 3, muscle mass of 40%, which is not bad for 54. All right, and I'm clean. I never put any pharmaceutically enhanced potions in my body. I take protein drinks, sometimes supplements, sometimes I take a touch of creatine, multivitamins, and that's about it. And if I'm in a lot of aches and pains, I might take a paracetamol or ibuprofen, but I'm not suggesting you do. That's for you, your pharmacist, and your doctor. Okay, until the next one, find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts. And again, Health No Filter. Please subscribe to the channel. Feel free to ask me a question. It won't cost you anything. I'll do my best to answer. If I don't know the answer, I'll look it up and come back to you. All right. Thanks for watching and listening. Bye for now.